Hey, it's just working straight off the bat today. What the hell? Okay. Cool. I have purposely... Yes, blue. It's safe. Pocket Shark can be out today. I don't know why it does that. Yeah, we're gonna work on this today. Yes, Radiant Star is still on my mind. It has taken over my whole brain. Once again, they decided that they're taking over. So, like, I think that's the only thing. I was about to say, I'm not gonna lie, I think that is the only thread that could make my brain, like, drop everything and reply, because my brain already said we're not writing this month because we're working on ArtFight, but my brain was like, but Star Savior, though. It's to the point that my brain's like, I almost want to go drag it up and read it so that people know what the hell we're talking about. Because Tati and Satila, though, they've fucking taken over my head again. They do this from time to time. Trust me, it's been very difficult. The only reason I haven't been writing this month is because everything is yours. I'm pretty sure almost everything... Oh no, wait. It's my turn to do... Strange Days. Strange Days is mine. I don't think I've purposely let myself reread it to get it back in my head so that I can focus on ArtFight, otherwise I would be going crazy. To be fair, we gave Tulto lots of things to be mad about. But yeah, no, this is the thing. So I decided that I was lazy today, and I did almost all of this completely with a mouse. Because for some reason my brain just did not want to color with my tablet, so I said, fuck it, I know how to use a mouse. I cleaned my desk before I started streaming today, so hopefully that won't bug me. Oh no, let him do it. Let him fucking do it. I absolutely don't know how Sumu's gonna react to getting first named, because no one's ever had the balls to do that to him, but I am very intrigued to see how his muse would react. Let him fucking do it. And yeah, sometimes I don't... It's also just felt faster to do it with a mouse today because I just kind of lassoed the parts I needed, and then whatever I went in or out of, I just fixed it. But no, what I did on purpose is left the cello because I thought about it, and every other time I have done an instrument piece, I've never let you guys actually watch me do it. It's just kind of like the instrument is the first thing I render, and then there's just like lines, and then there's suddenly an instrument. I've given you screenshots, but I've never actually done like the motions with it, and like how in depth this shit fucking gets. Because it gets intense. So I purposely left the cello empty, so there's like a visual of me doing it. So that's why I did it. Like, I know the first time I did a cello, I posted like the screenshots of me rendering out, but like seeing screenshot progression and seeing like a full 3 to 4 hours of me just sitting here rendering a fucking cello, it's a completely different thing. So let me turn the tunes on. Let me turn the tunes back on. And then we're gonna start working on this cello. Dude, that one's looking fucking fire. I'm so excited to see that one done. I also was smart this time. and I made folders because last time I didn't. Actually, hold on. Let me just save for a second. But I never shown you this before. So let me hold on before I start getting like waist deep into a cello. Let me show, and I keep bitching that like I did the layers better this time. Let me show you the mess that is the layers for cello number 1. This thing is huge. Yeah, so this is where we got. This is where we'll get to. This is what I'm about to do to that thing, except better, because I'm better now. The layers are right here. Oh, it's behind the dragon. Let me move it. Boop. The layers are right here. This is the layers to this bitch. Here, I haven't... This is all just the foreground. This is just the background of it. This is the layers to this bitch, and everything is, see, now this is parts of the cello, and then Silu's up here, and then there's more cello up here, and then Silu is more past here, and there's more of the cello, and there's more of the cello, and now that's Silu's vest, and then that's Silu, and yeah, there's the mess that is the first cello, where it's all just mixed together. The top will probably have the last layer I made. There's probably almost 80 layers on this bitch. 74 layers on the first one. So, because it's all messed up like that, I made folders now. So now I can do this. Silu is in a folder, and the cello is in a folder. That's just for this one. You should see violin number 2 or the stars. The stars is really bad because there's 4 people in that picture. So this time I folded it, and also I appreciate you popping in. This is the first time you've popped over. Yeah, I put them in folders so I can shut Silu off, or I can shut cello off. So I can like make sense of what I'm fucking doing and not be all messy trying to find pieces. Because I have a tendency to not name my layers. So yeah, also a big thing in this is trust the fucking process, because shit's gonna look fucking crazy for a while. You just have to trust me. So yeah, we're gonna like also ramble about lore tonight because I'm gonna put it up in the post that I just made, but I'm also just, like I said, consistently thinking about Tati and Satela at all freaking times, because we were plotting them even more yesterday, and now I can't stop thinking of them. Hey, I appreciate you. Oh, and since this is the first time you've popped over, I put in my channel points for one whole point. You can tell me when ads are coming. Yeah, this is exciting. This might end up being a fucking lore night again, where I just ramble about lore and do a fucking another PowerPoint, because I do that sometimes. It just ends up being a PowerPoint night, and I talk about lore all goddamn night. Oh no, you're fine. Oh, I do. I literally just start pulling up pictures and I start pulling up characters and like explaining and doing a full-blown lore fest. And if you guys want that, I am not opposed. You can ask any lore questions you want and I will happily sit here and explain whatever you want. I love talking about our babies. I have it, the opacity knocked down for a reason. I'll kick it back up in a minute. I have the opacity knocked down because of the order of my layers. I'll kick it back up in a minute. So yeah, oh, and there's a bunch of stuff. You'll see Theo hit me with it. There's a bunch of stuff down in there for, self-care clock in my channel points. Theo bullies me a lot and makes me, remember to drink things. And oh no, you're fine. I know you're doing your, barista thing. Besides, we just started like 16 minutes ago. I don't expect to be bullied yet. Dude, no, that one seriously is looking fire so far. I'm very excited to see where it goes. Tell you, this is where I get to chuckle, because he always has this thing where, like, I'll say, I don't know how far I'm gonna get tonight, and then I end up getting really far. I get to say that tonight. I don't know how far I'm going to get, because it takes me a very long time to do instruments. Gotta bring that all the way up to here. And then I'll kick the opacity back. Hey, welcome, you're here. I don't care if you're late. You're fine, and it's very late for you. It's very late for you, I know that. I'm always just happy when you're here. Are you doing okay? I know I just saw you said you're kind of going through it. No, it's not what I wanted. Stop it. I want that to move. Okay, thanks. Well, I'm sending you one of the hug emojis in my brain. I'll say, and since I know at least 2 of you weren't here yesterday, you're going to probably hear me cuss this cello out multiple times. Oh, good. I'm glad your drink turned out right. Yeah, you guys are here for cello number 2, better known as motherfucking cello part 2. Seems like a drastic change. That deep. Oh wait, I'll pull from there. That's better. Oh, I do need that damn reference up. Hold on. Hold on. I do need that damn reference up so I can see it better. I need to see all my cello colors better. There it is. That's better. Okay. Oh, I live on the fucking glow layer. I thrive on glow layers. Fuck, you'll probably see me use that bitch a few times tonight. I need you. Okay. Let me zoom out a little bit. I can see the whole cello. There's gonna be moments that I just get kind of quiet anyways because I'm focused on this damn cello. You didn't miss much. We're just getting started. I'm gonna be on this cello probably this whole stream. Not even exaggerating. Oh, the cello song's on again. Every time I do an instrument, Theo has to listen to me complain about how I just spent entirely too much time on X instrument. Oh yeah, no, Cello's depressed as fuck. But we love him anyways. He's doing his goddamn best. And that's it. Most people only know them as the music husbands, and they don't know, like, the actual shit that they're dealing with, and that their lives are fucking hell, and that the reason I draw them happy all the damn time is kind of me as an artist trying to say sorry to everything we put them through. I mean, even before we get into the Wonderland bullshit, because Silu dealt with some shit in the Wonderland bullshit. There was that time that Silu got manipulated and tricked into almost killing his husband. There was that. It wasn't his fault, but I mean, you know, that happened. There was, you know, there was the severely injuring his fucking significant other incident. I'm not saying that Symphonia was any better in that situation. He said some shitty shit. But, you know, there's a reason we hate Likey in this house. And then that's what we refer to as breakup era. So, like, what happened was, do I gotta explain the blackmailing again? I think I need to explain the blackmailing again. Yeah, I think I need to explain the blackmailing again. Hold on, let me save what we've done on the cello, and I'll do a little baby moment of a PowerPoint. Um, we'll do a baby minute of a PowerPoint. Okay, so this exists for a reason. I keep this so I can just pull characters up. This is also all their profiles for their bios. So, we are currently in concerns to, of course they open on the wrong screen. We are currently in concerns to, CeLu. We're gonna put this over here so I can click it fast. We're currently in concerns to CeLu. Oh yeah, if you've ever wanted to know what's going on with the Shark Wrangler and the God of Music things, we'll get to that too. But CeLu we lovingly refer to as a shark. Therefore, since he is Theo's muse, Theo is a Shark Wrangler. He does. He definitely fucking bites. Even more so if you fuck with his cat. CeLu has outright bit. Like, since Symphonia is, like, stupid famous, he is, like, the most famous string player in the history of the Mysterican Kingdom. And his fans are really weird. There's been times where they've gone to do errands because Symphonia can't be out in public by himself because his fans are fucking weird. And CeLu told a lady to get her hands off Symphonia because she thought she could touch him because he's fucking famous, and then she didn't listen, so CeLu bit her. Oh, he warned her and said, if you don't stop touching him, I will bite you, and then she didn't listen, so CeLu bit her. Oh yeah, Symphonia definitely has to deal with parasocial fans. Lots of parasocial fans. Yeah, so we are in concerns to CeLu, Symphonia, Suxu, and Likey. We hate them. So basically what happened was, I also need temporarily this goober. This goober. And very importantly, this one. So, this is the king. This is Ulrico. This is Symphonia's brother. They are not blood brothers. They're cousins. But they were raised side by side with each other, and they're only 3 years apart, so they just think of each other as brothers. And when they were very little, if you told Ulrico that Symphonia wasn't his brother, he'd just kick you, and Symphonia would cry. So, they're brothers. This is Uzva, and this is Pilvi. They are Ulrico's children, so Symphonia is their nephew. So they're nephews to Symphonia. This is their uncle. That's where this mess starts. So, to soulbind is to be in service to a royal. You're gonna hear me use the word soulbind, the words soulbind, and the word prime a lot. We need to talk about Tulta. Not that picture of Tulta. I need it when he's actually bound. This one. Actually, I'll do the one without the background because you can see his hair better. It doesn't blend as much. Okay. This is Tulta. Tulta is Symphonia's godfather. This is also Theo's baby. We refer to him as the leopard. Tulta is Symphonia's dad's best friend, and then when Shoki, his dad, passed away, he took over to raise his kid. And we effectively refer to him as Grape Dad, because it's grape and lemon. Where's Shoki? Grape, lemon, and that's like legitimately his name. Citruna means lemon. This is Symphonia's father by birth. And when he passed away, Tulta took over to raise his kid. You can see the tips of his hair were not always that color. The tipping color of his hair is important. Okay, cool. When someone becomes a soulbind, what they're doing is they're mixing their mist and or their soul. Their soul is their mist. It's the same thing. They're mixing their mist with the mist of a member of the royal family. And by doing so, they are entering a life oath to serve that member of the royal family until the day they die. That is what being a soulbind is. You are serving that member of the royal family. There's two types of soul oaths. It's either between a knight and a royal, or it's between another Mysterican and a royal, and generally those are like teacher oaths. So, knights always end up being first, and since they are the first soulbind that happens, they're referred to as a prime. Primes are in charge of basically raising their royal, because this generally happens when the royals are kids, and they're basically bodyguards, and I'm getting to that. They're basically bodyguards and they're caretakers. That's what. No. Soulbinds only happen between members of the royal family and another. That's why the Symphonia situation is fucking complicated. Because Tulta, when Symphonia was in his 40s, after all of what I'm about to explain to you happened, got really mad and decided, I'm telling you, he needs a bodyguard. He has to have a prime, but they didn't know if they could do it, and it worked. So what I'm getting at is, these two, these two are cousins. Symphonia is a member of the royal family by cousins. So, Shoki, Symphonia's dad. Hieka, Orinko's mother, they're siblings. That's, I don't want the goober. That's where this works. That big brother, little sister. Previous queen. No, because he's already over here. I needed Hieka at the time. Goober's already up. He's under his puff. So, these two are... Give him his cat, then. So these two are cousins by blood, but they refer to each other as brothers because of how they were raised. But they're not. That's the important thing. So the world goes on, and Uz was born, the eldest of Orinko's children. And when the time rolls around that he's supposed to start having teachers, that means royals have one teacher per subject for the whole of their lives. It just keeps getting, the subject matter just gets increasingly difficult as the years go on. They never change teachers. They have one teacher per subject for the whole of their lives. So that means Uzva would only ever have one music teacher, and it would always be Sinfonia. And that's the trick here. Symphonia entered into a soulbind contract with his nephew. So there's where we're having the problem. That's where the root of the problem is. Rinko, I don't need you anymore. So these two, yeah, they're the best that they can fucking be. These teachers are insane. I'm drinking something, I promise. Let me just drag out the picture of, like, them and their binds. Actually, I have a better picture I can drag out. Hold on. I have a better picture I can drag out that I sent to only Theo, because I was very excited. I don't know how bad I buried it, though. So we don't know how to, like, shut up and not talk on the art channel. But it would make my life a lot easier to find it. I did it, actually. I didn't bury it that bad. Hold on. There. That's better. I was about to be like, how are you redeeming ad breaks? You don't have ads. And then I was like, oh wait, for someone else. Got it. Okay, hold on. It's fine. I have to drag stuff up anyways. This will make my life 16,000 times easier. This picture. Because it just puts everybody on screen. Yeah, this puts everybody on screen, and it'll help you guys know why I was, like, freaking out that I finished one of them. And you should post history thing, because it's his birthday. Yeah, these are all important puffs. And it's Valo's birthday. This is right here. This is Valo. It's his birthday. I'm waiting for Robin to come back from ads, and then I will explain the problems we're facing. It's okay, it gives me time to sit here and drink all my coffee so it doesn't go cold today. Okay, this is the picture I needed because it's all soulbinds. So you guys remember I got this one done right before ArtFight, and I was very excited because I said they're done, I did all of them. I was trying to assemble this picture. Each section is a royal and all of their soulbinds. So this is the king, and all of those people are bound to him by soul. So when you see Orinko on ArtFight, I drew on his reference hands laying out so you could see all of his rings. His soulbinds those bonds are represented by a ring. When their mists mixed, it creates a gem called a gem of commitment, and then that gem is worn as a piece of jewelry, as a symbol of that commitment. Orinko's are rings. So they're all wearing a ring, and then Orinko has rings for every single one of them, and he wears all of them. This is Tyvis. Tyvis is his prime. Tyvis is also the head of the military. We don't fuck with Tyvis. And then this is Tuli. This is Symphonia's mom. This is Symphonia's uncle. This is Tuli's little brother. But this is Pilvi and all of his soulbinds. And then this is Uzva and all of his soulbinds. So, the knights are all the prime one who takes care of them. Everybody else are their teachers. Orinko's are no longer his teachers, because one, he's a full-grown freaking adult, but two, because he took the throne. And because he took the throne, all of his soulbinds shifted from being teachers to being pillars of the government. So now they're advisors. So like when I put this one's profile up, I said he was the head of treasury. So he taught math. So when it shifted, he became head of treasury. Tuli taught music, and now she's a festival advisor. They're all of them are branches of the government. So that's part of being a soulbind. You're a teacher for the whole of that student's life, and when they take the throne, you switch and become an advisor, and now you're a branch of the freaking government. So yes, they're extremely skilled. So the rule here about soul binding is that a royal cannot bind to a royal, but it has to be direct bloodline. So like, father-son, mother-son, brother-brother, that kind of stuff should not be happening. Direct bloodline should not be binding to another one. It's against the fucking law. So that's why we have this problem. Because to everybody outside of it, they are hearing we're brothers when they're actually cousins. Symphonia didn't break the law, but if you don't know him and Aurenko's actual relation, it sounds like he did. And Suxu here is the politics teacher. She's also a history teacher. And a bitch. So, Suxu gets really angry about the concept of a royal binding to a royal. Doesn't dig into it any deeper. Even though, like, the whole of the palace knows what's actually going on. Yeah, and that's it. Because they're both... We're brothers, and everybody else is like, they're cousins, but don't say that. But, and everybody just knows better than to correct them, because Rinko gets really mad. That Suxu took it literally, that they are legitimate brothers. So to her, she's already broke the law. So she's decided that she is going to blackmail the shit out of Symphonia to basically keep all of Pilvi's binds away from Uzva and to destroy the relationship between the princes. Because Pilvi is the holy child who was prophesized to save the world and is literally the center point of their entire religion and is a god vessel to their goddess. He's also immortal, but they don't know that. But he's basically like a living god. But to him, it's just his little bro. And she's decided this kid is blessed by the gods, he doesn't need help, and everybody can stay the fuck away from my prince. He needs all the help he can get. So she basically tells Symphonia he has to keep Pilvi's binds when they show up away from Uzva, and that he can't associate with them at all. And they're all supposed to just, like, protect Uzva as much as possible, but that means even from his fucking brother. Mind you, Uzva's, like, 4 years older than his brother, so she's doing this all when, like, Pilvy's, like, 3. She's freaking out about a 3-year-old. And, like, they normally don't have soulbinds until they're at least 5. Pilby didn't show up until he was 5, excluding Revan, that's the one with green hair. So, you can see the you can't associate with Pilby's binds problem. You can see the don't associate with them problem. So, what happens is she blackmails the shit out of Symphonia and basically tells him he has to be an absolute bastard to, like, everyone but Uzva. The problem is, if he doesn't, moreover, when he doesn't, she's decided there's punishment for this, and that means things like he beating him to death within the, like, inch of his life. Like, he gets fucking physical, and, like, he's thrown him into walls, thrown him into bookcases, knocked him in the jaw, broke lips, broke ribs. Like, he's fucked him up multiple times. And Sky's Call is one of it that's in the roleplay threads on the server, is one of the times Likey decides to be an absolute fucking piece of garbage. Because the problem here on this side also is that she's politics and history, he's medical and math. And I'm just about to make that worse. He's medical and math, and one of the things that's also a rule within the space of soul binding is whoever the medical soul bind is oversees the medical for the entirety of all of those soul binds. So, like, Lamidas is the head of medical, so he oversees the medical for him, Orinko, and all of his co-binds. Yeah, co-binds we use for co-workers. And Paulo is medical, so she oversees medical for Pilvi and all of his binds, like he is the doctor. And Symphonia's health is very fragile. Symphonia's health is very complicated. Like, he has a heart arrhythmia and it causes tachycardia and he will faint. His heart beats too fast. His heart beats too fast without the proper medication. He also is bipolar, depressive, PTSD, anxiety, Symphonia's got a lot of shit going on. And he can live a fine life as long as you leave his fucking medical alone. But Likey can't do that. Because here's the other problem. Likey is madly in love with Suxu. Suxu is madly in love with Symphonia. Symphonia is very gay. Symphonia is extremely gay. Yeah. And Symphonia literally just wants to, like, hang out with his fucking nephew and, like, talk about shit with... He loves almost all of Pilvy's vines. He's friends with all of them. Oh yeah, let's make that worse. He's friends with Valo. He's friends with Amonkoito. He's in love with Silu. He was friends with Revan when he first showed up before Suxu did. Kuka is Silu and Sudan's cousin. He loves Sudan. And this is his nephew that he used to refer to as Wisp. Pilvi means cloud, so he just calls him his wisp of a cloud. And then he's known Paulo since they were kids, because Kesha is Paulo's mother. And Kessa and Tuli are really good friends. So she used to bring her kid when she was working, so then those two have been friends for forever. She refers to Symphonia as Orangey, or Orange Boy. So these peeps all come in, and he's been told don't talk to them or else. And he's like, how? And he's also told that he can't just not talk to them, he has to be like an absolute fucking asshole. Like, he has to be the worst person on the face of the fucking earth. To, like, be horrible to them. So there's that. And Yeah, Laiki's in love with Suxu. Suxu's in love with Symphonia. Symphonia is very gay and wants nothing to fucking do with her. So Laiki's decided that Symphonia is in his goddamn way to get to the woman he's in love with and wants him out of the fucking way. And he's in charge of his medical. So, like, Sky's Call is a whole big mess of the first time that Laiki fucking poisoned him and tried to assassinate him. And that didn't work because Silu saved him. There's this, like, consistent pattern that keeps happening, and Silu doesn't mean to do it, but it just always keeps happening. And we refer to Symphonia medical emergencies, since he's our cat. We refer to Symphonia's medical emergencies as kitty medical emergencies, which have been shortened to kittermergencies. You can thank Theo for all the fun words. So when he's having a medical emergency, somehow, some way, Silu always ends up walking in on it and ends up saving his life. Like, legitimately saving his life. Sky's Call literally is him, like, sick as a dog on the bathroom floor, like, ready to die because he's fucking poisoned from the inside out and doesn't know it. And Silu comes to find out what's going on. Oh no, you're fine. I'm talking about how Silu keeps being the one to save him from kid emergencies. And, like, that's the thing that keeps happening. Like, he keeps trying to kill this man, and Silu keeps intervening. He keeps catching it just in time. And keeps managing to get him to the people he needs to get him to save his life. Over and over and over. Haya makes that more complicated, but that's gonna make this PowerPoint 16 times longer. So, basically, Laiki almost kills him the first time. And then, when that doesn't work, and after Silu saves his life the first time, they end up becoming closer than friends. They start, like, getting really flirty with each other and shy and shit. And eventually they get set up on their first date, and they don't refer to it as dating, they refer to it as courting. So they start courting. Which definitely has Suxu fucking livid. And he definitely gets his ass fucking beat to shit for that. And as time goes on, because Symphonia won't give it up, he doesn't care. And mind you, he's been consistently lying to Silu this whole time that, like, he's just sick again, or he's just hurt really, or he tripped, or he fell, or, like, he's consistently lying all the fucking time. And eventually, right before Pilvy's 13th birthday, she gets really shitty and tells Symphonia that he has to, he tells Symphonia that he has to break it off with Silu or else. And this time she takes the tactic of, you have to end the relationship you have with him, or I will make his life and his twin's life hell. Figure it out. And I said that she's doing this right before Pilvy's 13th birthday for a reason, because Pilvy's 13th birthday is when he accepted the Holy Blade and also the spirit of the Celestial Mother into his form. And it's a ritual called the Ritual of the Holy Blade, when he would truly become a god vessel. And the problem is it's just been prophesized this whole time, and nobody knew if it was gonna kill the kid or not. But they're still, like, gonna do it anyways. Okay, I'll wait, because I know I'm getting into, like, complicated, juicy shit. Yeah, I'm waiting. Victory's in 1-2. I can stress how much he loves that little puffball. I can do it pretty easy. I mean, it's in here somewhere. During ads, I'll tell that my insomnia let me fall asleep at 8 in the morning last night. Dude! Okay, hold on. I'm looking for a picture because I have to stress how much Silu loves Pilvi. There it is. Ta-da! If this doesn't encapsulate it for you, I don't know how to explain it, okay? Like, that's his little guy. That's his dude. That's his little tiny puffball. They meet when Pilvi's 5 years old and he becomes his music teacher, and that is his bestest super best friend ever. They're besties. He loves that fucking kid. But remember, you're like also making an oath to pledge your soul to serve this royal. So like, he's soul-bound to be at this royal's side for the rest of his life. That's his fucking kid. So, the thing is, why it's important that I bring up, yeah, that's also part of your oath. Nothing comes before the royal. And Silu and Symphonia both have oaths, and they both acknowledge this. It fucking froze again, dude. Why did you freeze? Oh yeah, the whole thing froze. It's fine. I guess it's just locked like that. Yeah. So, that's the thing. I brought up that it's almost Pilvi's birthday for a reason, because he's supposed to accept this Holy Blade, and, like, no one knows if when he takes on the soul of the Celestial Mother, it's gonna kill him or not. So, basically, we're right before that ritual's supposed to happen, when Suxu tells Symphonia, end your fucking relationship or else. So Symphonia's stressed the fuck out right now because he doesn't know if his nephew's about to die, and Silu's stressed the fuck out right now because he doesn't know if the kid he pledged his fucking soul to is about to die. So there's that going on. And now Symphonia keeps, like, he ends up basically torturing himself for a week, trying to figure out how to end this relationship, but do it, like, as gently as possible. But at the same time, now he's figuring out how to end a relationship where he was just about to ask Silu to marry him, which they refer to it as mixing mist. They would say it as, will you mix with me? Because they're legitimately mixing their mists together, but, yeah, he was about to, like, propose, and then Suxu's like, fucking end it. So now he has to end it, or the man that he wants to marry and his twin would be in danger. And he knows what they do to him, so he can't risk it. So basically what happens is, Likey uses an opportunity to fuck up Silu's meds. Like, he gets the prescription to be fucked up. When Silu goes to pick up his meds, he picks up the wrong ones. And they make him extremely aggressive. And while he's already stressed the fuck out, wondering if his kid's gonna die, and Symphonia ends up, like, panicking in the middle of them having an argument, and snaps a really shitty line that implies that their life oaths that they made to Pilvi are only part-time because the kid's gonna die anyways. Like, I mean it. Symphonia says really shitty shit, but he panics because they're in the middle of an argument, and then he sees Suxu down the hall, and he just panics the fuck out and, like, snaps that shit because she said it to him. So that happens. So then when he says that, Silu on the wrong medication that makes him extremely aggressive freaks the fuck out. and breaks his fucking nose. We use the phrase, seeing red, but they relate red to royalty. So the equivalent to that phrase in their world would be burning black. So Selu is basically burning black. He doesn't remember shit that happens. And he basically gets so fucking aggressive and angry they have to pull him off of Symphonia. And Symphonia gets his shit rocked. He has a major concussion and a broken nose, and he gets his fucking shit rocked. And that's why they end up broke up. They end up broke up for like 2 years. But Symphonia's still not mad about it because he knows what's going on, and he's been lying to Selu this whole time. And Selu thinks that he meant it, so he's just devastated. He thinks Symphonia used him, he thinks that he lied the whole time, that he was just making fun of him, and he goes down a fucking spiral. Oh yeah, Symphonia's laid the fuck up for like months. Nobody will let him out of bed. And Selu just like self-fucking isolates. He shuts the fuck down and self-isolates. And then they end up broke apart for like almost 2 years. Oh yeah, she's downright furious. She's downright ecstatic that this shit happened. And actually on that note, while we're talking about that, we're gonna look at a piece of art I did for a minute ago so I can show you all the little lore I dropped into it. This one. That's why I wrote there's yes written on the bandages around his throat, and it says mine all the way around him and liar all the way around her. And there's faded out bloody handprints on this side behind him. But yeah, there's this. So they end up broke apart. Selu tries to date someone else. She's a fucking bitch. Symphonia never dates because he can't do it. And he also knows what's going on, so he is like insanely still loyal. Like he's as loyal as you can fucking get. Not saying Selu isn't, it's just Selu doesn't know. And actually, I'll talk about them too. Where's the idiots? Selu ends up dating a woman named Tikari, who's a fucking bitch. Selu ends up dating a woman named Tikari, and a man named Mary tries to court Symphonia and turns into his stalker. So there's that. And Symphonia ends up about a year and a half-ish, almost 2 years in. He ends up getting so sick and tired of being alone. Oh yeah, Symphonia has a stalker, and he does not have his little shark to bite him or beat the shit out of him. So he kind of just has to like duck and run. And Symphonia also doesn't know how to say no. Oh, I didn't explain the drop your horns thing. They use the sentence drop your horns in a literal sense where they mean they're bowing their heads because they're lowering their horns. Oh, it finally decided to unstick. That was annoying me. But royals bow to the populace. The populace does not bow to them. So the king would bow to his population. The population would not bow to the king. He would drop his horns to them. And royals are raised to drop their horns because they serve the populace. And Symphonia was raised in the palace and has royal blood. So guess who was raised to drop his horns? He was raised not to say no. And he has a stalker. So he doesn't know how to refuse gifts he doesn't want, and he doesn't know how to tell people to go away, and he doesn't know how to tell people, please don't touch me. or please give me space, or please step back. He doesn't know how to do any of that. He just drops his fucking horns. That's why Silu also used to be very pushy and bitey and step off my bond. Yeah, they don't say boyfriend or girlfriend, they say bond because they're a bonded pair. Yeah, Symphonia and boundaries are not a thing. That's also one of his problems with Suxu, that she came in and he was just like, didn't know what to do. He just knows he's supposed to drop his horns. And eventually, after like almost 2 years in, Symphonia can't handle this like being away from Silu thing anymore. And he hasn't had any ways to contact Silu because Silu blocked him literally everywhere, like all social media, phone calls, texting. You can't get a hold of me, I've blocked you everywhere. And I don't blame him, he's fucking devastated. But, so that means the only way Symphonia can think to contact him, to tell him that he's still in love with him, is by writing him music. So he contacts his band from when he was a performer, which most of them actually belong to Theo. This is his guitarist. This is Haryane. This is Karki. This is that's his keyboardist. These two are a couple. And then this is Vori, his drummer. And he contacts his band. And he's like, guys, I need you. And they drop a whole brand new album that's titled with the nickname that Silu gave to that Symphonia gave to Silu. He calls him Rakaslalu. That means love song. And he titled it with that nickname, so that he's hoping that Silu would get it. I named it after you. And he drops a whole album of nothing but fucking love songs to get Silu's attention. And it goes fucking poor. Because that Silu takes it as there's someone else. And he gave someone else my nickname. And he takes it as that he moved on from me. But he ends up confronting him and basically tries to get out of him. Who is he? Who did you replace me with? You gave someone else my name, and that's what that album's for, isn't it? And Symphonia just sits there and explains to him that I didn't give your name to anyone else. I named that album after you because you're the only man I would ever write love songs for. And Symphonia basically just sits there and explains to him, I'm still in love with you. You don't have to still be in love with me, but I'm still in love with you. And while they're having a very intense conversation, and Silu just like loses it and starts crying, and Silu's extremely emotional. That's just how he is. He starts crying, and he's having a panic attack, and everything he thought was wrong, and this can't be right, and like his anxiety is freaking the fuck out. So Symphonia gets up, and he gets ready to try to hug him, because that's just what instinct says to do. But he feels a really tight heart pain in his chest and hits the fucking floor. And basically his heart just freaks the fuck out, and it's beating way too fucking fast, and he can't breathe, and he's panicking, and he's stuck on the fucking floor. So now Silu has to deal with this too, that he's literally having the man he loves confess, I still love you, and I wrote you an album of love songs, but now I've hit the floor and I'm about to die. So that happens. So he freaks the fuck out, and he goes to find Tulta and Vaudio. Vaudio is we're still in the process of writing that one. It's definitely been a fun write. Vaudio is here. Tulta and Vaudio. So Symphonia's godfather and the basically one of Symphonia's many adopted military dads. That he works under Tulta. Tulta and Vadio are both combat medics. So, like, they're both doctors. They know what the fuck they're doing. And he goes to get them because he doesn't know what else to do, and he didn't want to move Symphonia because he was scared that he would move him and then everything would go to fucking hell more than it already is. So they end up doing everything it takes to save Symphonia's life, and then Tulta freaks the fuck out because his kid just almost died. Because the thing is when some Mystericans die, they don't leave corpses, their bodies fade out. So that's why I'm always so grumpy about that colored choker has to stay on their necks, because it's not just identification, it's the only thing that's left behind when they die. So that's how they count they're dead. And so when a Mysterican starts to die, that means body parts start to fade out, like they become translucent until you can't see them. So it starts in the fingertips and it goes up. So by the time Tulta gets to Symphonia, from like his fingers to like almost all the way halfway up his forearm is fucking gone. It's faded out. Yeah, the opacity begins to drop. It's just faded out. So he's literally seeing his kid fucking fade out in front of him. And the thing is it happened in Sky's Call too, but it was just his fingers. So he's losing it, but not on the outside. Tulta doesn't panic. Not visibly. But he yells and freaks out a little bit in this one. And he gets Paulo and he gets Lamidas and Vario, and they do everything it takes. Oh, he is crashing the fuck out. We can take that thread and move it to Discord if you guys want to read it, because it's intense, but it's a fucking hell of a read. And yeah, he gets Lamidas and Paulo and Vario to help. The ads are ruining my PowerPoint night. You guys keep getting hit at the same time. Yeah, like, you know, Shoki. I mean, Hieka and Huipu both died in really shitty ways, and very close to each other. Yeah, so basically, Symphonia almost fucking dies again. Silu is the one who saw it. So once again, he runs into a kitty medical emergency, and when he's finally hit the point of this breakup, that he's realized, I need this man more than anything in my life. I can't do this shit anymore. Because they're a true bonded pair, so that means they're, like, bonded down to the soul. And, like, you just don't separate a true bonded pair. They, like, wither without each other. Now that he's, like, realized this, he suddenly goes to, like, talk about it, and then Symphonia almost fucking dies in front of him. And then they also proceed to, like, try to keep Silu away from him because of everything that happened. and because they're trying to save him, so he's got to get out of the way. I think the last post I put up was audio. But yeah, that's happened. So that they eventually get back together because they've definitely hit the point that they can't they can live without each other anymore. And the woman Tikari that Symphonia Silu is dating is a fucking abusive, ableist bitch. That we hate her. We hate her, Your Honor. So he needs to break up with her and be with his cat. Good call. So we can put that thread up too, because that's a hell of a read. It's fun, it's intense, but it's a hell of a read. It's very emotional. So, and then, they get back together and shit gets kind of solved, and Suksu lies her ass off to get out of things, and eventually the lion comes out, and that blows up in her fucking face, and, he gets arrested for, trying to kill Symphonia, because he purposely fucked his meds up to the point that they were useless and that they would go off like a time bomb and fucking activate all the shit that's wrong and basically kill him. But because Tulta just does whatever it takes to save him and has blood tests run and shit, it finally gets caught. So then he gets to, go fucking feral on the man that tried to murder his fucking kid. So don't worry. Tulta, beats Likey black and blue, and then he gets arrested. Because... For a while, she keeps lying, and she keeps trying to, lay low and shit, because there's also a thing, too, that happened. I wrote the drabble for it, too, and it was intense. During the breakup era, she ends up, forcing a kiss on Symphonia, and he shoves her away and, runs away, super scared and freaking out. Because she keeps trying to get through his head that they can't be friends, and, that he belongs to her and shit like that, and he's just I swear to God, I don't love you, get away from me. So then he also feels, dirty and shit, because she kissed him even though he didn't want her to, and he tried to shove her away. So there's that, too, because he is, loyal to death to Silu. So there's that, too. But don't worry, they get back together, and they mix, and they become husbands. And I had to update their shirt off reference from after they get married, because the last motion of the dance when you get married is staining your partner's chest with your handprint. So post getting married, Silu and Symphonia, Symphonia has Silu's left handprint stained over his heart, and Silu has Symphonia's right handprint stained over his heart, and they're matching their colors. So they're married hubbies. And then they get to have shit chill out after Suksu gets caught, and he gets arrested. Hey, welcome, we're doing a PowerPoint night again, surprise. And yeah, that all happens, and then they get to live happily for a little bit until Strange Days happens, and Wonderland happens, because the planet gets destroyed. And they get thrown into a whole nother dimension in another world that is very much set up trying to kill them. The world only ends. It only gets legitimately torn apart. And then they get all thrown into another dimension. And that if Symphonia didn't have a lapse in sanity for a moment, they probably would have gotten killed in the apocalypse, but instead got blown into an alternate dimension. and now they're trying to survive a world that is trying to kill them. Yeah, right, literally, it's only your regularly scheduled Armageddon. So that's what Strange Days is. That's started to go up in the server. Strange Days has started to go up in the server, but it's very, very long. Well, and then they hit Wonderland, and they spend 5 years. Silu, Sudan, and Symphonia all end up there together, and they try to survive, and Symphonia runs out of medication, so he's been not in a good spot, and Silu doesn't have his medication, so he's not in a good spot, and they're trying to keep them alive. And this world doesn't function the way their world does, and the Symphonia, Mysterican main food source is sugar, so they can't find a lot of sugar in Wonderland, so they're already kind of dying because of that. And they're kind of dying at the lack of, like, being unable to find enough sugar to fucking live. Think of them like hummingbirds. And they need sugar for, like, all the extra body functions that we don't have. Yeah, and then everything gets worse. And then Voltaire shows up, and, Voltaire thinks they're food, so he's been consistently hunting them, trying to fucking kill them, because he consumes mist. And to him, mist is food. And when they die, their bodies break down into mist. So Voltaire is hunting them, so that they consistently keep trying to run from Voltaire for 5 years, and then they get caught in the thing I wrote you, that's the Symphony Fades, by that thing, and get separated, and they think Symphonia died, so Silu and Sudan get separated from Symphonia, and Symphonia ends up by himself with a broken arm for a hot minute, and then he looks for Silu for 12 years. Sudan dies in the 12 years. She catches an illness and she dies. So Silu ends up by himself, and then he gets captured by a woman that we fucking hate. We don't like her. She's evil, and she basically keeps Silu as a fucking pet for 9 years, and basically tortures and drugs him to her heart's content. Yeah, kidnapped by an evil bitch is a way to say it. She basically tortures and drugs him for 9 years and holds him fucking hostage, during the 12 years that Symphonia is looking for him. He eventually gets away from her. Yeah, she also manipulates the shit out of him to make him think that his Puffball hates him. Because Puffball is also in a very bad situation and caught by bad people. Different people of the same faction. And the whole time Symphonia's looking for him. Eventually, Pilvi and Silu get away from the bad people, and then eventually they find each other, and they also find Revan, Amonqueto, and Valo. And Silu is very, like, meek and injured and sick and anxious, and he's gone through a fucking lot, and he doesn't really know how to interact with people because of the extreme levels of shit he's gone through, and he's pretty sure, and he doesn't have Sudan anymore, and yeah, and then he also is convinced that his husband is fucking dead, and then after, like, what, a year and a half, Revan comes back to, well, I wouldn't say home, but back to the place that they're living. Back to the place that they're living. He, brings Silu the feral fucking street cat he found buried in the trash, aka he finally finds Symphonia. Symphonia ends up saving his nephew, and, from super shit, and then is determined to, like, take him back to safety, but in the process ends up running into Revan, who was looking for his kid. So we refer to it as Mysterica times Symphonia we call the Fluffy Palace Cat. Wonderland times Symphonia we refer to as the feral street cat that Revan found in the trash. And he ends up bringing him back to the place they're living, so after, like, 12 years of being separated and going through fucking hell, they finally have found each other again, and things are starting to improve. But yeah, that happened. So so mind you, like, when they met, they were in their like mid-20s, early 30s, and now they're in their like mid-50s, early 60s. So yeah, it takes them all the way into their 50s, 60s for them to like finally have shit start to chill out. Yeah, like, yeah. Yeah. Our humans consider, you know, us adults when we're 18. Mystericans consider themselves adults when they're 25, and that is when Silu met Symphonia. That's when he got his job. So like all that happens. That's a thing. That goes down. So that's why I draw them happy all the damn time. That's why I always draw them just like fluffy and happy and cuddly and like rubbing noses and kissing and shit, because they deserve it. Yeah, they deserve time to just like snuggle. And that's why I give them that all the damn time. And then I just let them be cuddly, because they earned that shit. And then I'm in my brain realizing what song I'm listening to and the sheer level of horrors I plan to doodle to it. See, and then the thing is I didn't even really explain the reincarnation track. I just explained Silu and Symphonia. Should I explain the reincarnation track too? I'm gonna have to bring up reference if I do. I'll explain the reincarnation track, especially since I want to eventually ramble about Tati and Sutela. Yeah, but the thing is Symphonia has been like alone this whole time too, and he didn't know what happened to his husband, so he doesn't care. Yeah, the universe. Should I explain the reincarnation track? Probably. Okay, hold on. Let me explain the reincarnation track. This'll explain the bird boy. You know the bird boy I just drew for Theo? This'll explain him. Hold on, I gotta bring up the picture of all of them. Because I know I said the sentence in the server, my goal is to draw all of the blues. So this will explain what I meant by all of the blues. I'm drinking something, I promise. It's fine, you can be my hydration bully. Okay, there's the oranges. Meet who we refer to affectionately as the oranges. Actually, good idea, hold on. Save. This is the oranges. We affectionately, that's how we refer to them, the orange crew. That I'm gonna leave up for a minute because I'm gonna have to show it to you in a minute. And now, where is the other crew? This is the blues. You need both sets. I'm gonna see if I can. No, I need that. Okay, I'll stop. We'll talk about the reincarnation track in a second. More horrors, you have no idea. Okay, cool, that was pissing me off. No, they didn't get that long. I thought they only got like 300. No, they got like, Suleim is 274. They didn't even get that. They got 274. I was gonna say, I don't think anybody got that high. Okay. So, the problem. Okay, so this is also gonna add to Silu and Symphonia so much for their lore, it's not even funny. Okay? So, this is what I refer to as the reincarnation track, and I say that specifically for the oranges because that's complicated. Okay. Oh, hold on. You need Tiamat and Bahamut. There's both there. They're both there. So these two are the twin gods that created the universe. There was a spark that started the universe, and it split in two, and it created the twin gods, Tiamat and Bahamut. Tiamat is the celestial mother, and the mother of all mist. She is the goddess of creation. Bahamut is the god of destruction. He is the father of the soil. No, I do not mean dirt. I mean spectrum of individual color. Crystallized souls. He created the lands and the lands as we know it. She created the heavens. And Tiamat had seven lower gods under her. They were her children. We refer to them as the Seven. They were created because she blew her mist through a crystal and it split into 7 different colors and created the lower gods. I don't know how deep that is in my shit. But if you can find it, and then Bahamut had 6 lower gods under him that we refer to as the 6, and they were his children. So that's the important part. Mostly Tiamat is important. Because Tiamat had her 7 children, and Haya, this clown, is one of them. I guess I should show Hasha too. Because she had the twins under her. She had the twin gods, Haya, and Haja. They're some of Tiamat's children. And basically, Haya is the god of music, she's the goddess of dance, and Haya got fucking bored one day. We refer to him as the glitter clown. And, cause he's just a fucking clown. Sorry, Haya's just a fucking clown. I love him. he decided that he was bored one day and that he is the son of the creation goddess. So he wants to create a guy too. And he also wants to see if he can make a guy like their mother does. And he uses the spark that powers the gods, basically the spark of life that started the universe, is basically the fuel that keeps gods alive. He uses part of his spark, his own mist, and the notes of his own music to create a man. So he makes this baby, who is Sulim. Right here, number 1. The first orange. He names him Sulim, which means awesome radiance, because Hai is great at fucking names, and he's not a goddamn child. And Haya's just a god too. He doesn't understand how shit works. He doesn't understand like sleep and getting sick and any of that fucking shit. Like, he doesn't understand like living life. He's a god. So he's just consistently like a fucking jokester and a playful man. And he creates a life, which is Sulim. And he ends up giving this baby to the village and being like, here, raise this. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Make it work. And then he doesn't know how time works, so he kind of like fucks off for 16, 17 years. And then comes back to check on the guy he made, and he is no longer a baby, but he's grown up. And he's decided that this is his best friend ever, and they're gonna just hang out all the fucking time, and he just consistently will show up and steal him away, and then hang out with him, and eventually bring it back to the village when he fucking feels like it. And they have like almost 280 years together until shit hits the fucking fan. And one of the gods, there's a third god that's evolution, gets corrupted, and evolution becomes chaos. And then you did dig that shit up. How deep was that? Hold on. Don't test my ability to locate anything. You know what? You also have my tagging to my tagging to thank for that. This is the poem that Theo was talking about. We use this as ancient lore that is referring to the seven lower gods. Breath through crystal by the celestial mother, split into hues of 7 given form, crafted carefully, never a blunder. Each of these were her firstborn. Utu, the god of justice and balance, toxic breath but peaceful heart, to offer others guidance. Damu, the god of assistance and medicine, quick to act with golden passion, to come up with advancements sudden. Ea, the god of visual arts, breath of purple and gentle hands, to give out bold creative sparks. Nibata, the goddess of language and writing, careful in her ways of silence, to hand out means of truth and lying. Aki, who was the god of wisdom, breath of rose often contained, to offer the others clearer vision. Haya and Haja, twin god and goddess, the dragon's song and dance, to offer up rhythm against the madness. These children's have been rarely seen, split apart and went their ways, wait for the day to reform their team, when they can return all their grace, when they find their meeting place. Basically, Haya got bored and made a dude. Forgot about how fucking time works. Comes back, finds Sulim, hangs out with Sulim, and becomes best fucking friends with him forever. The thing is Sulim he fucking adores Haya. He loves Haya. And eventually, when chaos gets formed, which is the corrupted form of evolution, it wounds Bahamut and it wounds Tiamat, so they have to get put into weapons to not die. And then it corrupts the 6, which were Bahamut's children, and it turns them on the 7. So the 6 start running around causing fucking problems and like attempting to murder the other gods. And when one of them comes at Haya and tries to kill him, Sulim takes the hit. Sulim gets slashed across the back with a sword to protect Haya. So as he's laying there, fucking dying, he's, one, getting lectured by Haya in his panic because he would have just, like, healed, he's a god. No, you're fine, I'm happy you popped in anyways, that's fine, that's chill, I appreciate you. And besides, there's always a VOD if you want to just pick it up later. Yeah, no, it basically is Sulim's laying there fucking dying. He promises Haya that he'll find him again, and then Haya's like, dude, what do you mean? Mist doesn't reincarnate. Soil reincarnates, but Mist doesn't reincarnate. It functions on the path of a linear line, so it goes forward and it expands the universe. It doesn't reincarnate. What do you mean? And Sulim's like, I will find you again. I promise you, I will find you again. And then he dies. And this is when Sulim's Mist basically tells Cosmic Order to get fucked. Cosmic Law says that Mist should go forward and continue to span the universe, but it never reincarnates on a cycle. But Sulim made a fucking promise, and he's going to keep it. So he burns part of the spark that is what Haya gave him to give him life, and he uses that to reincarnate. But in the process of doing so, by burning part of that spark, he's also burning memories of his life with Haya. So Sara is born. Sara reincarnates from Sulim, and he's a traitor, like, as in, goes from town to town, traitor. And he eventually gets taken advantage of and poisoned, and he gets killed by a member of the 6. And then he burns part of the spark and reincarnates. And we get to Shwitemas. And he is a trader that he trades and does sales and traveling salesman kind of deal. And he ends up getting caught up in the middle of an argument and gets shot in the chest and he dies. And he burns part of the spark and burns more memories and reincarnates. And mind you, Haya's been alive this whole time. Eventually, when you get to Shwitemas, is when Haya finally, he's bound to the King of White, and he gets killed in this battle against Chaos. And he's also been very depressed this whole time because he lost Sulim. And then Shwitemas gets killed, burns part of the spark again, and resurrects, reincarnates as, I shouldn't say resurrects because he doesn't come back from the dead, but he reincarnates into a new life, and that is Shulta. That's this one. And Shulta is where the special part starts, because Haya has reincarnated into Misuki, the siren shark. The trick is with yes, he falls in love with a fish. The thing with Haya's vessels is Haya's still there. Last art fight, I drew a picture of Haya and Silu together because he kind of just bothers him all the fucking time, like this pestering ghost. Did I put it in there? I did not. Hold on, let me find Divine Intervention. Yeah, Haya's kind of always there, no matter what. I promise, yeah. Haya's kind of there, no matter what, like a ghost, the whole time. Haya just kind of, like, chills out. So, like, even though he's reincarnating, he's still there. Ooh, I got my knuckles to crack. You could hear that. So he's reincarnated into Misuki, and he is a siren shark that isn't very interested into this being a siren thing. And then Shulta is the current reincarnation of the orange. He is a cartographer. He makes maps and travels all over the place, making maps and stuff like that while looking for. At this point, he like knows there's some shade of blue he needs to find, but his memories are starting to fuzz out. And he in his little boat making maps and shit, he ends up meeting the fish of his dreams. I mean Misuki. And they end up well, no, actually, they meet because Misuki, that's right, I forgot about the thread. Misuki gets caught in a net and ends up on shore, and Shulta comes and he saves him. And then later when he's in his little boat making maps and shit, Misuki shows back up and's like, hey, you're the one who saved me, and like scares the shit out of this poor man because Shulta is insanely shy. And they end up becoming like really fucking good friends, and he falls in love with a fucking fish. And yeah, Shulta ends up like baking food for him and shit, and gives him pie, which Misuki affectionately refers to as triangle. And he lets Shulta draw pictures on his little book of everything he's charting down. And they end up becoming like really fucking close. And the other sirens don't like this. So they end up making a like little plot to murder Misuki's landwalker, and they succeed. They end up luring him out and drowning him. And Misuki can't save him fast enough. So Misuki kind of goes fucking crazy in a blind murderous rage and goes after all the other sirens and ends up going down in the fight. And then he dies, and Ishulta's died, and they both reincarnate. And then we get to Strongglass, and we get to Octave. And Octave is just a gentle little crystal dragon who only wants friends. And he lost his sister to the village. The village freaked out and killed her. And for some reason he's still trying to be fucking friends with them. And Strongglass is an archaeologist that is studying the ruins and learning about rocks and the history, etc., so forth, and they're both very lonely. And Strongglass is also very broke. And they end up meeting over Octave trying to give him a coin, and become really close friends, and they end up having their relationship, because this is very much an I love you in every life situation. And they end up living in Octave's little cave, and then the village ends up thinking that Strongglass lost his fucking mind, so they like basically trap him and like try to commit him to an insane asylum because he fell in love with a monster, and that monster has obviously warped his mind. And he eventually ends up getting out. Octave comes to rescue him, but he's very much a pacifist and doesn't want to fight. Strongglass is absolutely the one who's ready to punch you in the face. And eventually they get back to each other, but the village causes a explosion that causes a collapse, and Octave's cave collapses in, and they both get caught in it, and they get killed. From there, High as Mist doesn't reincarnate for a minute because of like all this consistent damage and losing his cat. Strongglass reincarnates again and creates the Reza team. The Reza team is basically a thief He lives on the fucking streets. He's a bandit. He's got a really bad weak spot for kids, and he ends up getting caught in a fight and gets stabbed, and he gets killed. From there, he reincarnates into this one. We're here, to Stralochide, and then that's when Cantic becomes involved. Cantic is a little swordsman, lonely traveler, and Stralochide is a music history teacher who plays the mandolin and lives in a village on the outskirts of it, doesn't really associate with people very much, and he has a cat named Fortuna. And one of the corrupted members of the Six finally ends up catching the trail and attacks him in the middle of the night in his own fucking house. And basically someone comes to try to assassinate Stralochide in the middle of the fucking night in his own goddamn bed, but his cat scratches him across the face and wakes him up. So he freaks the fuck out and he runs. And Cantic finds him in the forest, like all scared and freaking out. But then he freaks the fuck out because he left Fortuna behind. So he's like, I have to go get him. That's my best frigging friend. And he has to go get his cat. So they end up going back together. And he gets his cat, because we can't leave the cat. And he gets his mandolin, and he gets some of his belongings, and then they ditch town. And then in the process of just adventuring and living together, they end up getting married, and they end up just kind of living their lives happy. But the problem is that the problem I haven't been mentioning is every death that of Orange Life occurs reflects onto the next life as health problems. So we're 7 lives in. We're 7 lives in. Stralochide's health fucking sucks. And eventually his health just goes out on him. And mind you, they have like 100 years together, and then Stralochide's health just fucking bottoms the fuck out, and he dies. So Cantic gets really lonely, and ends up like dying from depression. And then Stralochide reincarnates to Satelua, and Cantic reincarnates to Tati. And they are both knights in the military. As Theo said in the server, Tati is a goddamn menace, and he is flirty and slick and sly, and probably has dirt on you. Don't fuck with him. He will fuck you up. And he ends up using a lot of his connections and the bullshit that he keeps on people to save Satelua, because Satelua's health is downright fucking garbage. So he lied his little ass off to get into the military, and he falsified a lot of fucking documents in order to get them to let him in, because he is an orphan and he doesn't have family. He has no family, no friends, and he was basically like living on the street, and he was basically just kind of roughing it. So he figured the military was the only place there was for him. So he lied his little ass off to get into the military so he would have some kind of income. And unfortunately for everyone around him, he's very good at his fucking job. He's extremely good at his job. He's what's referred to as a mythic. Magic users are called mist mythics. So not only does your mist have the ability that happens as soon as you breathe out, there's also abilities you can force it to use, like fire and water and shit like that. And if you can control that stuff, you're referred to as a mythic, and mythics are kind of rare. So Satelua is a mythic. He can control fire and thunder. He is best at fire. And Satelua ends up fainting on the training field one day, so his health all kind of catches up to him, and they end up pulling all his fucking records and realizing he's a goddamn liar. So they're ready to throw him the fuck out of the military because he falsified so much bullshit. And he's basically like a walking liability because of his health. but he was friends with Tati at this point, because Tati basically sat down at a table one day while they're in the mess hall and was like, "Hey, who are you? Not your friend. Go away." Sounds like we're friends. And basically just decided to sit down and be like, "No, I pick you. We're friends now." And he ends up telling Tati what's going on, and Tati pulls a whole bunch of strings and basically makes a whole bunch of like threats to get Satelua transferred to his squadron because he is a major. Um 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 and Tati ends up pulling him onto his squadron. And we refer to Tati as the grumpy cat. The grumpy cat, our grumpy night cat. And yeah, Tati and Satelua end up basically being like an almost unstoppable force on the battlefield, because Tati's nickname as a knight is Frostbite, because of his use of water and ice magic, that he'll use water magic and flood the field and then freeze it. And Satelua is best at fire magic and gets nicknamed Flashpoint. If you don't know what a flashpoint is the name used to refer to the temperature at which a chemical will ignite. So, you have Frostbite and Flashpoint, and they end up basically in a kind of semi-hidden relationship. Like, the whole squadron knows they're together, but they think they're hiding, and they just let him keep thinking that. Because Tati would get in serious trouble if someone found out he was dating one of his men. So they have to, like, kind of be on the down low. And there's a lot that happens, like, Tati ends up finding out that Satelua is an excellent drummer, and he probably could have made a profession out of it, but he just sees it as a silly hobby, so they get in a situation where he's consistently trying to convince him to become a drummer and stop being a knight, because it would be so much better for your health, but Satelua was not having it. And eventually they get to the point of, like, talking about marriage, but they both end up getting killed on the battlefield. Satelua ends up getting shot in the chest when he's in the middle of running to Tati, who just got really hurt. So, mind you, if a Mysterican's lungs get injured because they're pressurized, because that's where the mist is stored, it's instantaneous death. They're non-operable. A chest blow to a Mysterican is instant death. They'll fade out then and there. And Satelua gets shot in the chest while he's in the middle of running to Tati. So that means he gets shot and boom, he fades that fast. It's like seconds. And then Tati ends up succumbing to his injuries, and he ends up dying. And then that's how we get to Silu and Symphonia. That is why, and the thing is like, we've been losing memories and parts of the spark this whole time, and that's why I kept up a thing I needed to show you. This is the eyes of every member of the Orange Crew. We start at Sulim up here, and Symphonia is at the bottom, and you can see that color shift. Sulim, and then with every life, the eye color changes because the spark is draining out of their eyes. Because Haya's mist is blue, so Sulim's eyes are the same color as Haya. And as every life hits, the spark drains out of their eyes until you get to Symphonia, and they're orange, and that means now his eyes are the same color as the purity of his mist. So Symphonia is the last life. There's no more spark left. They've burned all of it. So Symphonia has no memories of any past life whatsoever. He just knows Haya is a god they worship, and that's fucking it. And the other thing, too, that I was adding to all of this is, Sulim through Satelua, all of their names mean radiance in some form. All of them are radiance in a different language. So it's Sulim, Sara, Sibitema, Shishulta, Strangras, Razatim, Charlochide, Satelua. All of that means radiance in one language or another because they were looking for Haya, so how else would Haya find me than by keeping the name he gave me? Except for Symphonia, because Symphonia means symphony. And Sulim was created with the notes of Haya's music, and the final life's name is Symphony. Yeah, there's that for you. And then you have Masuki music, octave, context song, Tati's star, and then Silu, the final life. Silu means soul. So we've started with the god of music, and now we've hit the soul of music, and the soul finds the symphony. So there's that. There's that too. So their mists, their essence has gone through all of this shit to find each other, and then it has to go through all of that hell with Silu and Symphonia, and that's the thing too. Haya's there like a little ghost with Silu, but Symphonia doesn't remember Haya at all. And Symphonia doesn't remember anything at all. Silu's dealing with the thinking that he's not going to have Symphonia forever because of the immortal thing. And Symphonia also doesn't have any of the spark left. So if he dies, there's nothing to go off the reincarnation track with. There's nothing left to give. And he just continuously keeps almost getting killed. So that's part of the like Silu showing up and always stopping it, because part of it is this like unbeknownst to them barrier of Haya's mist between the universe protecting Sulim's mist. Yeah, and Symphonia, when he does meet Haya for the first time, like Haya takes over Silu's body and speaks through him, Symphonia loses it. He like freaks the fuck out, thinks his husband's dead, cusses him the fuck out, tells him how much he hates him. Like, he loses his goddamn mind. I can't emphasize to you how bad Symphonia freaks the fuck out. Like, there's a lot of him yelling, "You took my husband from me." Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Yeah, like, he freaks out on him, starts cussing him out, yelling him, "You took him away from me, I'll never have my husband again." Like, he kind of has, like, a fucking meltdown. Well, that's one we... No, you're fine. That's one that, I don't get hit with very often. So yeah, and that's the thing. If you guys want to actually read this shit, there's some of it that's up in the RP corner of the server. The little roleplay corner has some of it in there. Not all of it, but it's got some of it. I love that, like, I did way more on this than I thought I was going to, and, I've barely done anything today. I've just been kind of talking, but I still have so much done. It looks like I have much done, but I don't. I do appreciate that. We work hard on these stories. Dude, she gives Symphonia so much hell before Silu and him get together. She gets very, like, mess with my little brother and I swear to God I'll kick your ass. And it's a consistent running joke because she's only 7 minutes older than Silu, but she will not let him fucking forget that shit. See, we're working on that though, because little Mr. Puffball Pilby does in fact have the celestial mother within his soul, and she's the creation goddess, and that makes him a creation god. And we're getting to the point where he's starting to be able to give Mist form again. He doesn't know he can do that, but we're getting there. He's also facing his own complications from fighting chaos. Yeah, we refer to Silu and Sudan as the Sparkle Twins. Yeah, so Silu is left-handed and Sudan is right-handed. I guess if you needed lore for ArtFight, I fucking gave you guys lore for ArtFight. I forgot how long this shit fucking takes me. It's okay. That's the thing, like, it looks like I've done so much tonight, but I fucking haven't. I've barely started this damn cello. And I mean, you can always just post it in the server first, if that's what makes you feel comfortable. But you also have to think of it this way. Wouldn't it be a shame if it just never saw the light of day and lived only in your head? Like, let other people know that shit, dude. See, look at what happens when I zoom out. Do you see how much shit I have to fucking do? This is such a trust the process situation. That's why I said, if you want to post it in the server, because that's easier and more comfortable, and if you need help, we're here to help. Look, your English is very impressive. English is a shitty language. It's very hard. And even as a natural-born English speaker, the more I learn other languages, just because I like language and I think it's very interesting, our, fucking language sucks, dude. Learning English is fucking hard. Yeah, now I'm starting to get nitty-gritty with it. Yeah. Our language is kind of fucking shitty. I say this as someone who's literally a native English speaker. Our language is kind of shitty to learn. I will be the first fucking person to tell you that English fucking sucks. I mean, I'm happy you found us too. faster than I was last time, but I'm also more obsessive. So yeah, this is gonna be a thing. I'm trying to decide if I've ever actually full rendered on string yet, or if it's just continuously been cell shading, and I think it's only been cell shading. Yeah, we don't care. It's fine. Dude, I'm fucking dyslexic. Are you kidding me? I'm a native English speaker, and sometimes I can't speak my own goddamn language. It's kind of hard for me to believe that the last time I did a cello was 2 years ago. It was definitely time. It's been a hot minute. Oh, dude, we're barely started. I get so obsessive. And that's the thing, it looks like a smudgy fucking mess up close, but I promise it isn't. Well, that's only one shark. Or is that all of the blues? That's how many blues there are. 6. Is that the entire blue crew? Is that what happened? Oh, the one where King of the Puffs was born.
vision is red. Anxiety fills my head. Can't help but compare the wear and tear to what you said. My rhythm is dead, and no melody's in my head. Don't think I could dare to care or dare to write instead.
So yeah, it's gonna be a hot minute before this one's done. Well, that's okay. I'm not gonna lie, part of me doesn't do full rendering on stream because I think it's probably boring to watch. Cause like that bitch is nowhere fucking close.
Time for the love I'm getting.
So that's the thing, the lines aren't even fucking colored for anything, except for those few I just did.
New hearts breathe life into mine, and I see bright eyes, they shimmer and shine, but they never stay for the night, 'cause I hope that you might wake up and fill up the space.
Well, I promise.
Late nights and some pretty face, but I don't hear one word they ever say, 'cause I miss your taste. I traded my soul for this, breaking in my skin. I shoot and I always miss, body feels lived in. Is there something on TV just to waste my time? What good is lonely when I'll always only be mine?
Especially when I start zoning the fuck out, I really do forget to like eat, drink, do fucking anything.
Staring down phantoms at night, they always catch me with smoke in my eyes. Now I've sung this song too many times, and it feels like a lie. Wear my hunger and heart on my sleeve, and that's why the ones I love always leave. I couldn't say what you wanted from me, I forgot how to speak. I traded my
Well, whenever you get stuff done, post to the server so I can see it. Yeah, if you gotta take a break on stuff, then take a break. Although I'm kind of a hypocrite. Hey, thanks for stopping in and hanging out for a while. We've done that today. I have a lot to paint. We've done that today thus far. We're gonna do that shit with the mouse right now because I don't fucking feel like fighting with it.
Chasing the
I don't know if I really consider it a magic right now. My brain sees it as a mess. I'm gonna cosplay the orange. Why not cosplay your blue thing? He makes you happy. Hey!
You've been trying to keep me in your bed. I can tell from all the marks that you've been leaving on my neck.
He'd be a hell of a project, though. I did not go easy on him.
Premeditated from the moment that we met. Don't start falling, I'm sorry if I'm not here in the morning. Give me all of you just for a piece of me. So darling, don't get too close. There's nothing here to see. If we end up going down this road,
Yes, I would help. Hey, it's looking a little more complete now that I'm not just focusing on one thing and rendering it to high hell and back. Now that I'm like putting the pieces in.
Everybody thinks my heart's gone black, but honestly I'm just afraid that I can't love somebody back. 'Cause the devil's in the details, telling us how we feel. But what if I just wanna give it up? I'm kinda unpredictable, swear to God I'll only make you miserable, and I could never be enough. So darling, don't get too close. There's nothing here to see. If we end up going down this road, you'll end up underneath my feet eventually. No, you don't wanna love me right now, 'cause baby, I don't even like me so well. Am I supposed to let myself be everything you need? So sweet, then leave. I don't wanna put you through me. So darling, don't get too close. There's nothing here to see.
Dude, Haya would be fun.
End up going down this road, you'll end up underneath my feet eventually. No, you don't wanna love me right now, 'cause baby, I don't even like me so how. Am I supposed to let myself be everything you need? So sweet, then leave. I don't wanna put you through me. She waits for me alone in a place I only go when my eyes are closed. Damn, I thought that we left it all behind. Funny, we're still fine when I slip into this other life.
Kitty would be very like, not the blue I wanted.
Think I'll be
think almost any of the oranges could be fun to make. Some are less intensive for details than others. This is not what I ordered. I mean, he fell in love with a fish. Oh, here, actually, because I've posted it, but like people didn't get the joke at the time because I hadn't explained anything. Let's go through the mini tiny things Kira's animated. It's still not done, but like, it's there. Look, it's just a boy and his fish, okay? He fell in love with a fucking fish. I already have a plan in my head if I have enough time for his fish. I have other ones, hold on. Where's... I have the, Silu just floating, not being a menace, and hanging out while his husband grades, waiting for kisses. Silu just hanging out. I have that one. I have They're Not Dating Yet, but Silu started crying on Symphonia and he doesn't know what to do. But he is crushing hard. This one is literally titled Poor Dumb Fool. Crush is crying on me. What to do? Um, I have this one in progress. Silu is actually further along than Symphonia is because I animated them separately and then I've been putting them together. This is the vision. see, it's starting to have some kind of like semblance of form. We kind of did something tonight. We're not gonna talk about how much I still need to do for Silu. Oh, how bad, how fast did Symphonia go cry to Thule about how pretty this man is? Same day. Same fucking day. He went to his brother's office. He gave him his phone. He went, yo, this is my friend I follow who's really a fucking great musician. Go find him. He'd be way better at teaching Pilvi than that dumbass that's in here right now. Arinko went, cool, I'll go do that. Went to find him, brought him back. Symphonia finally met him face to face. Did all the stuff he had to do and kept himself professional and businessy and all of that shit. And then they got Silu sat up to teach Pilvi his beloved puffball, and Symphonia turned right around and marched his ass right into his mother's office and laid face down on her couch and started crying. Literal crying. And then you got Trini, what's wrong? Hold on, I've gotta write that out for Artemis to follow. Symphonia's full name is first name is Satrini. His mother calls him Trini. And yep, that he laid down on his mother's couch face first, and he cried, and she went, Trini, what's wrong? And all she got out of her child was, he's so beautiful. And she went, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And he went, I'm an idiot. This is gonna blow up in my face. And she went, what do you mean? And he went, my friend from the internet, I told Big Brother to go get him and have him teach Pilvi. He's here. We met face to face. Mother, he's the most beautiful man I've ever seen. Excuse my language. I'm fucked. And she just did the mom thing like she does and like sat down with him and held her baby and told him that it was gonna be okay. It was the same day reaction. He kept himself fucking professional all damn day until they got Silu set up and ready to go, and then he stormed his ass into his mother's office and he laid down and like told her how fucked over he was. Because he knew it's only a matter of fucking time. I'm gonna have to do something in a minute because I am consistently staring at a detail and it is not in here and it is driving me bonkers. So I'm gonna have to fix this in a minute and stick it there. I did. I mean, look at this. Do you fucking blame him for being like, Mother, he's the most beautiful man I've ever seen in my life? Yes, of course I remember the very first iteration of Symphonia. How would I not remember the very first iteration of Symphonia? You're about to think I'm a fucking insane person, but I've been staring at this detail all goddamn night and it's driving me bonkers. They're there. They're barely fucking there, but they're there. Oh, I have it zoomed in out so bad you can't see shit. Okay, hold on. I'll show you what I'm looking at. My brain won't stop looking right there. I hope you get good sleep. Yeah, my brain won't stop staring right fucking there. So they're there, but they're barely there. Oh, it's been 3 hours. I didn't realize it's been 3 hours already. Happens. I just saved it. Hold on. You gotta let my brain do the thing it was doing in my head. I promise when my brain is like done with the process that it's hell-bent fixating on right now, I will save it. course. I'm not just gonna do it. If we're gonna do this, I'm gonna go all out. I'm not gonna lie, instruments have also kind of been like my petty little thing that's like me almost getting back at my ex-husband for all the years he used to yell at me that my work was too detailed and nobody actually gives a shit about that. Why do you spend so much time on things that nobody actually fucking cares about? So there's that. Okay, it's been 3 hours when I did that. We got okay with it. There's a lot left to do. I did save it. I just saved it. I saved it and then I zoomed out. Yeah, so we got that far. Thus far. It's not a bad start. There's lots to do. I know you're probably... I did. We did. We started with absolutely empty cello. Like, there was absolutely nothing done except for that. So the real win here is, for as much as I'm looking at it going, there's so much shit I need to fucking do, oh my god. The real win here is that my hand doesn't hurt. That I did all of that, and my hand is not screaming in pain. So that's the win here. The nummy cream stuff that I bought, once I put it on my hand, it normally gives me like a whole week before it starts freaking the fuck out again. So yeah, there's lots to do. I still have to put all the details in on Cielu, because you know that like none of the details on his vest are there, but we'll get there. I think that's a decent progress for now, but I'm not gonna push myself past a certain level of hours because I don't want to chance fate. See, we're saved. I don't want to chance fate and make my hand hurt too bad. So we're gonna pause and not be online for today. I'll probably work more on it a little later. But yeah, I don't think that's bad. I think we did a decent start. So I will be back on Monday, the 20th, to stream more. This may or may not be done by then. I don't know. What? What am I waiting for? So yeah, I'll be back on the 20th to stream more. This may or may not be done by then. Oh yeah, because I yacked for a hot fucking second. I did that in an hour? Damn! Look at me go! It's because I know what brushes do what. It's less of an experiment. That's what's going on. The first time I did it, I was very much like, I'm going to create the wood texture, but I don't know what brushes I need to create the wood texture. And I don't know what layer modes I need to create what I want. But now I know what I did last time, so I don't have to look. I don't have to be like, that was the brush. Which brush was it? I know which brush is which. And about what it's gonna do and how it's gonna react. So yeah, look at me. I did that in an hour and a half. But yeah. Oh look, we're back on another Cielu song. But, he does have his head in the clouds right now. But yeah, we'll be back on Monday. I don't know if this is gonna be done by then. Probably I won't leave it alone. But I appreciate you guys listening to me fucking ramble again and talk lore and shit and hang out. So yeah, we'll be back on Monday, probably doing something new by then, I would hope. Yes, post the blue thing. I appreciate you guys.